Well, hello everybody and welcome to the channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite. And today we're going to talk about one of them, Jeremy Hunt. So, what's going on in the Treasury? In this video, we're going to be talking about the reaction to the cancellation of Nigel Farage. We've talked about how Nigel has been struggling with his bank accounts and is not the only one. Many others are getting cancelled left, right, and centre just because they have different point of view and an opinion to the establishment. Nigel Farage is now trying his best to find a way to stay in the United Kingdom. Otherwise, he's going to have to leave Britain because the established banks are refusing to give him a bank account. Now we have our Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, who has decided to intervene in this matter. And what do you expect from this? Okay, obviously we're going to hear a lot of talks, a lot of words, a lot of meetings about meetings, a lot of consultations, yes, but it's a good start. It is a good start, but let's not be that optimistic. So what is Jeremy Hunt doing about any of this? Because he's supposed to be Chancellor, he's supposed to be technically in charge of the banking sector in this country, to an extent. The Treasury came out in response to what's been happening to Nigel Farage and some other people, and said, well, it is absolutely a concern. No one should have their bank account denied on the grounds of freedom of expression. We expect to take action on this issue within weeks. Okay, it's going to take them a few weeks. Interesting. Banks and payment providers occupy a privileged place in society, and it would be a concern if financial services were being denied to those exercising the right to lawful free speech. And basically, we had the Treasury coming out to say, well, as long as no one has actually committed a crime and broken the law, then you shouldn't really cancel or boycott them as a customer and as a citizen, a free citizen in this country. Now, they're going to do something, right? This is not the first time something like this has happened. And in terms of the reaction as well, because we had recently the issue with PayPal and the Free Speech Union, Toby Young and many others who had difficulties with PayPal. They've been freezing their account and their money. And the government and the Treasury already started their so-called consultation. The report on that consultation on payment services regulations will be published within weeks. And now they're also going to be including what's been going on with these banks and people like Nigel Farage. Okay, so they're saying this because they got a few by-elections coming up, and we also have the general election coming up next year. So the government cannot be seen completely silent on this issue. Usually they would just ignore it. They would just say, well, it's just not really our business. There's a few right-wingers who are being attacked. It doesn't really matter, does it? Sometimes you get a couple of Tory backbenchers raising the issue in the House of Commons, but then that's it. But now they're doing something about it. I mean, when they say they're doing something about it, we're going to have to wait and see what they actually do. They're going to publish a report first, and then they're going to have another meeting about it instead of actually doing something about it. Okay, so in its consultation on payment services regulations, the Treasury said the government is very clear that regulations must respect the balance of rights between users and service providers' obligations, including in relation to protecting the freedom of expression of anyone expressing lawful views. As a minimum, it is the government's view that without a deviation, a notice period, and fair and open communication with the customer must apply in situations which relate to termination on grounds other than suspected or actual criminal offences, or when otherwise allowed by law. Right. But the government themselves, successive governments in recent times, have also made a lot of things unlawful or illegal, including speech. So what if, for example, Mahyar, Tousi or Nigel Farage go out there and say something that is politically incorrect and it offends some people? So that technically means the banks are right, according to the government, because we've said something unlawful, right? Weird. Now, Toby Young is, so far, in terms of being diplomatic, who's obviously in charge of the Free Speech Union, they had the issue with PayPal. He's so far saying, I am pleased that this issue is on Jeremy Hunt's radar, but I hope that the investigation won't take too long. There is no doubt that thousands of people are being penalized by banks and payment services providers for exercising their right to lawful free speech. Indeed, the Free Speech Union has been lobbying the Treasury to change the payment services regulations for the last 9 months and submitted reams of evidence about the scale of the problem. Since then, it has only got worse. The Treasury urgently needs to change the regulations to prohibit this new and sinister form of cancel culture. I absolutely agree with Toby Young. Now, Nigel Farage has also reacted to Jeremy Hunt, saying, well, this is the beginning of something very important. Our banks must be politically neutral. Well done to the Treasury, and now we need fast action. So, seems like Nigel is more optimistic than I am in this situation, but with a lot of pressure, we can get something done. We can. Because while we have the cancel culture these days, while we have the mob rule mentality from the political left, when it comes to the backlash, we also do have power. When the backlash starts, whether it was Bud Light in America with Mulvaney and all the other cases that we've seen in recent times, or now this one, when people rise up, at times in certain situations, the establishment will have to be forced to respond to it. And so never give up hope, but don't accept this as a huge victory just yet. Anyway, we're going to have so much to talk to you guys about today on this channel. If you're new to the channel, we come to you guys regularly throughout the day, every half an hour usually. We're going to be talking about France, because the problems have now been extended to other neighboring countries, not just Belgium, but other places as well. And we're also going to be talking about some infighting inside the Tory party, as usual, and a clash between Lawrence Fox and Lee Anderson. It's going to be a tough day. Anyway, and also the latest update we now have, we're going to be talking about it later, is that Sue Gray has now been confirmed that she has broken the law, the rules of the civil service, the code, when it came to her secret conversations with the Labour Party before she got the job as Keir Starmer's Chief of Staff. Anyway, we're going to come back in half an hour. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.